Hi, my name is Brenda. This is my horse Comet, and I'm in Ohio. And I'd like to share my testimonial for Dr. Mitchell Yass, who's in Jacksonville, Florida. And if you don't hear anything, please hear that I was completely bedridden in excruciating pain for a full 5 weeks, going into the 6th week. And I believed it would, and if I hadn't have connected with Dr. Yass, I'm convinced I would still either be in bed or extremely disabled and in a lot of pain and stuck in the spine medical model, believing that all my pain and suffering was from a herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, and arthritis that was on an MRI. So what happened, I've had back pain for a long time, for years. And I've tried physical therapy, chiropractic, cupping, decompression. I've been to orthopedic doctors. In 2020, I had an MRI done that showed a herniation at the L5-S1 joint, and I did physical therapy, the whole 26 sessions, the McKinsey method to work on to fix the herniation, and it didn't do anything. I tried other physical therapists, chiropractors. Maybe sometimes the chiropractor would help a little, but it would come back. Then in this year, 2024, on Mother's Day, I woke up in the middle of the night just screaming in pain, and oh my goodness, quickly escalated. I went to the emergency room. They couldn't help me, and it quickly escalated where I couldn't move my body. I couldn't move my torso. I couldn't lift up my torso. I couldn't lift up my head. The pain was continuous, very intense. Then these sharp shooting pains. It was horrific. And got another MRI. Showed this L5-S1 joint herniation. Tried decompression. It actually had another trip to the ER. That one by ambulance, because a spine surgeon told me to take an ambulance to the ER since I couldn't sit up. I couldn't sit in a wheelchair. And they wanted to admit me and put me on a morphine drip, and I did not do that. I went home. And then I tried decompression, therapy where you get in a machine and it pulls your spine apart. This is supposed to help the discs with that degenerative disc disease. And it just got worse, and I'm talking, I could not get out of my bed. I couldn't lift my head. I had to use bedpans. I had to have help for basic needs. And I texted a girlfriend and said, I'm so scared I'm never going to walk again. I mean, that's not just being dramatic, that's how bad it was. And my daughter in Florida just asked for prayer at her church for her mother who was suffering, and a woman there said, oh, you need your mom to contact Dr. Yass. He really helped our family. He really has a unique practice. And so I did, and it was through Zoom, and I was in bed on a Zoom call with my first session. And I was sobbing, I was crying, it was very painful. He didn't look down on me for being so emotional. He understood that I was in pain. And the first thing he told me is, ignore your MRI. Your pain is not coming from the herniated disc. It's muscular. And that all the muscles in my glutes, attached to my hip, attached to my my spine, my sacrum, all of those muscles were in distress because I was asking them to do more than they had the capacity to do, and they were in distress. And I didn't know muscle pain is no joke. The sciatica pain that I had, that shot down the back of my leg to my foot, shot down the side of my leg to my foot, that would like even go upwards, and just the sharp shooting pain to prevent me from sitting up, he said was not from my spine, that it was the muscles causing it. So that first session, within 20 minutes on Zoom, I did his exercises to shut down the sciatica pain, and I was able then to lift my torso, sit up on the side of the bed, and actually stand up. And that was painful, but you know, I did it. The other thing that, so it was amazing. The other thing I want to back up, prior to talking to him on this Zoom call, I had talked to, you know, a spine orthopedic, then referred me to a spine surgeon, and then he said he really couldn't help me because my herniation was just too small to dissect it out, and he referred me to epidural steroid shot. And that orthopedic doctor was very honest and told me that to expect once I get this shot for my pain to go up for a couple weeks, that some people get relief after that, but it might last for a week and then they have to get the shot again. Some people may have relief for 6 months and then they have to get the shot again. Some people don't have to do it again, and a rare number actually is worsened by it. I was grateful for his honesty, and I chose not to do it because I was already in a level 10 pain. I was like, I can't go any higher than this. And shortly after that is when I connected through Zoom with Dr. Yas. And that first session, I was able to sit up, sit on the side of the bed, and stand. And then I did his exercises 3 days a week for 2 weeks, and I would say within 5 days from that first session, I had actually started walking, and it was pretty incredible. Continued his exercises, and I think 5 weeks after that first appointment, he was like, you should see if you can get on your horse. And I was nervous because all the pain was on my left side. I was like, how am I going to mount up? And it was no problem. It was no problem at all. And I had another health professional that actually came to our house since I couldn't sit in a wheelchair, you know, to talk about the herniation and the MRI. And he said, you know, you should probably not think about horseback riding for a while. Like, maybe don't even think about it till October. Well, I think it was like July 5th or something. I got on Comet bareback, and I couldn't believe it. The other thing that that I found amazing, my whole entire life I've had an arch in my back, and as an equestrian, we are to sit down on our 2 sit bones on our pelvis, our butt bones. And for me to do that, I just do all this core exercises, and try to use my core to try to get my pelvis to come to be where it's supposed to be.